Okay, so this is a reproduction of a problem I'm having with the Presonus central station. I've got the unit without the remote, so it's just in the rack. The way I've got it hooked up here, basically my DAW is going into my Motu, and I've got 21 and 22 out on the Motu hooked into the central station input 1 TRS unbalanced cables. That's all grand. I have my Atom A77X's here as well, and they're hooked up to speaker set A on the monitoring system. So right now I'm just going to play a tune. So this is the Motu going into input 1 TRS 1 and hopefully out through the monitors. So what we can see here, signal coming into the central station left and right, signal going out of the Motu on 21 and 22. And the good news with this is that I can hear audio from both speakers here. Over here. And also over here. Bit difficult to represent that. I'm a bit difficult to represent that in the video here, but that's what's going on. I'm hearing audio from both speakers. Okay, so the problem I'm having isn't to do with these inputs. It's actually to do with my auxiliary inputs. So let me show what I've got over here. So I've basically got two mini jack to phono cables, nothing fancy, two different types, this one here, and I've got this one on a mini jack extension cable just so I can reach. I've also got some of these guys. These are phono unbalanced to unbalanced jack converters to convert a set of phonos, because I want to reproduce a situation with that as well. So what I'm going to do is go around the back and plug that in, so give me 1 second. Okay, so let's go around the back. Don't know how much I'm going to be able to see here, but find out in a second. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to take those phono cables and stick them straight into the phono inputs here on the central station. And you pretty surely can't really see that. Let me see if I can get a light over here. Okay, here we go. So there's the two phonos going into the phono input here, the auxiliary on the central station. And what I'm also going to do then is this one. I'm also going to put this other phono cable with those unbalanced plugs into analog input 2, TRS 2. So there you can see the first set here is the balance from the Motu. Second set is the unbalanced to unbalanced TRS, and then the third one is just the auxiliary phono. So let's go back around and see what happens with each of these inputs when we actually activate them. So I'm just going to plug these into just an iPad, nothing fancy. Okay, so first things first, let's go straight for the straight auxiliary input and see what happens with that. So okay. So here's our auxiliary volume. Going to put it down to nothing. Activate the auxiliary input, and let's play a track here. Okay, so we're playing. So first thing we'll notice here is that the inputs are working. The central station is telling me that I can get signals on the left and right here on this track. What's interesting here is that I've got signal over here on the left, but nothing over here on the right. So it seems that the central station is taking in the signal, but the same balanced speaker outputs, which I was using a second ago with the Motu, and which I can switch right now. Here. So Motu is back on. Those speakers are working again, both of them, but once I switch over to this auxiliary, I've only got the left. Well, one of the interesting things, obviously, you can see that the stereo input is coming in on the meters, so that the central station is seeing a left and right signal here for sure. But if you put in a set of headphones, what I've found is that both left and right speakers, just up the Q, and I'm just putting them on my head here for the moment, and yes, absolutely, both of those headphones are working, left and right. So the signal is making it through to the headphone output, but it's not making it to the speaker output. And one last thing I'm going to check before I finish this video is if it goes out through speaker outputs B and C. It shouldn't really make a difference. I'm guessing the routing from the auxiliary input doesn't go out to the speaker outputs. Before I change, actually, I just want to check the other input here to do the exact same thing. So this is the other connection I set up, which is going in on TRS2, and this is also unbalanced phono converted to TRS with unbalanced phono to TRS plugs. So let's get that playing. So I'm going to change the input to TRS2, and what we see here is both meters are going, so it's taken in a stereo signal. Once again, if I check over here on my headphone outputs, yeah, I can confirm I got headphones on. I'm getting a signal on both headphones, but same thing again, I'm only getting that left speaker. Nothing over there. So what seems to be going on here is that the unbalanced signals coming into this central station are coming in, but they're not being passed through the passive circuit out to the speaker outputs for some reason. I'm not sure why, but